Hello.
Hey, everybody.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Hunt for Harmony.
Welcome.
Before we begin, because I screwed it up last time, before we begin, let me just make it clear. We are not pastors, ministers, counselors, or therapists. We are marriage coaches, and we're here to share with you our experiences in hopes that it will help you to create the marriage you want. You missed it.
Oh, my bad. We want to thank all the listeners, the new listeners and the existing listeners.
Thank you.
We appreciate you spending the time with us, and we hope that you can get something from, what we share to help you in your marriage.
Yes. So thank you. And now, and we always invite you to subscribe and to look back at some previous videos. And also, I posted this the other day, and people are liking it, loving it, thumbs up. I want comments, please. Give us your questions. Tell us what you want us to talk about. We appreciate you listening, and we come up with questions of things that have come up in our marriage or things that people ask us, but we want to hear what you want us to address or talk about. So please share your comments and let us know what you want to talk about.
And it's totally anonymous.
Oh, yeah, absolutely anonymous.
No names
of course,
will be attached
unless
to anything. Yeah.
We won't attach names to it.
Right.
But I will say, if you want to give us a topic, obviously you can't post it on Facebook without someone seeing your name.
Right.
But you can send us a message. So just send us a message. That's fine. That's all good.
All right. So let's get started for tonight.
Right. So tonight will be one such topic. This is something that has come up a couple of different times. I would say personally, for me, I have talked to 3 people, married people, who have, for whom this has come up.
I haven't kept up with the number, but I've talked to a few people myself,
Right. It
mostly guys.
Well,
but I've had women to say that
Right.
their husbands.
Right. Should I?
Should I?
Right.
Yeah.
So the question is, should I watch pornography with my spouse? And I'm saying spouse because of the 3 people who have mentioned it to me, that was the question. And it's not always, more often than not, it's the husband wanting the wife to watch pornography. But in one case, it was not the husband that was kind of the spearhead of the whole idea.
And I'm sure if you did a poll, there are a lot of women who would want to watch it as well, with their spouse, and the husbands might not want to.
Right.
So
the question is, should I watch porn with my spouse? So I think for me, the short answer is no.
No, that's my short answer.
That's the short answer. No. Now, I am going to play the role of the proponent as well as the opponent and kind of give some feedback. Well, give some questions to James, and he's going to address them how he thinks.
Yeah, she put me on the spot.
It's not on the spot. I just want it to be a genuine response.
Right.
So.
Right. Now, I know there's somebody out there who's saying, I know he done watched some porn before. Yeah, I have.
How you know anybody saying?
Trust me,
you're
somebody is saying that.
But you're assuming that someone thought that you had not.
No, I'm saying people.
I know what you're saying. You're saying I've watched porn, but you're assuming that someone has said, "Oh no, I'm sure he didn't watch porn."
No, that's not what I'm assuming.
That is what you're assuming because you
said. How's she gonna tell me what I'm assuming?
Because you started out by saying, "Okay, I know that there's somebody out there wondering."
I said porn. Somebody's out there saying, "I know he done watch porn."
I know he has watched porn,
and
right?
I have. Yeah.
You don't get it.
I don't. Let's move on. I'm missing it.
Anyway.
But I've never asked my wife to watch it with me when I was watching it. So
no.
Yeah.
So anyway, Some people might say, well, it spices up our sex life. So what do you say to that?
I give that 2 thumbs down because it doesn't spice up the sex life. To me, I think it gives you a false sense of spice.
Explain.
It's like, people use alcohol, rubbing alcohol to see if it lights, but you see how fast it fizzles out, it burns out, very quickly. Well, you feel like for a few seconds, oh, I got a fire, but then it dies out. Well, I feel like if you use porn as that, then you're giving yourself a false sense of spice, and it's going to burn out. It might be hot for a short period of time, but then you're going to want something else. You're going to want to try something else because, okay, I'm kind of bored with this. I'm kind of tired with this. And that can lead to some things where, it can drive a wedge between spouses because it'll be like, well, I did that, but I'm not going to do this.
Right.
And then you have some real issues.
It'll escalate.
Yeah.
Okay. So then to the person that says, well, I'm not really like physically aroused by my spouse, so, the porn helps.
Ooh, boy. Let's see. If somebody said they're not physically aroused by their spouse, I would have to have you ask yourself, number one, why?
Okay.
And there could be multiple reasons.
Weight gain.
Weight gain is typically one, and it can go either way, but a lot of times it's the men who complain about their wives gaining some weight because women kind of don't care. I mean, they don't want you to be obese or anything like that, but they're not going to be turned off.
Right. We're not going to rag you.
Right. About that. So that would be the first thing. Is it weight gain? Is it that, my wife is not doing what I want her to do when we are, sexual?
Okay.
And because of that, you just feel like, why get excited about it?
Oh, okay. Okay.
You know what I mean? So, yeah, I think that's it. And two, touching. People feel like, you don't have to touch somebody. And I say touch. I don't mean touch. What I mean is initiating.
Oh, wait. I'm about to be confused.
No.
Initiating.
Not touch.
Okay.
But initiating sex. You might feel like, okay, every time we have sex, I'm the one who is initiating. So I'm done with that. If he or she wants to have sex, they're going to have to start initiating it to let me know that they desire me.
Okay.
That's when you feel like you're not desired, then you don't have any, you're not excited about trying to have sex.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
I guess, yeah, but I guess I'm wondering if there's someone who is wanting their spouse to watch pornography with them, is it because their spouse isn't initiating sex?
Well, no, your question was, if
it was, I want this because I'm not physically aroused.
Oh, you want
spouse.
pornography.
I want us to watch.
Oh, that's a big problem. I got you.
Because I'm not physically aroused by my spouse.
That's a big problem because if you're not aroused by your spouse and you need something else to do it for you, your sex life with your spouse is bad. It's really bad because you should be able to
no kidding
desire your spouse, without something or somebody or pornography stimulating you to want to have sex with your spouse. That's kind of ridiculous.
Well, see, and I think the other part to that is that, just like before, like you said, that would lead to something else. Because if you're using this external thing to arouse you to have sex with your spouse,
you're going to always need something external.
Right. And eventually it's going to be a person or something to arouse you to have sex with your spouse.
So you need to address that with your spouse and ask, let them know what you think you need to give you that attraction. To
Well, you kind of mentioned something that made me think of something that we say all the time, and that's sex begins at breakfast.
Right.
And that you don't wait until you're wanting to be physically intimate with your spouse to decide that, all right, let's do it.
Before you start touching and
Right.
kissing and
Right.
yeah.
Especially, and this always goes back to love languages, especially if you know your spouse's love language is something like service or something other than
Physical
touch.
Right.
Because of course, if their love language is physical touch, then that's probably right up their alley to an extent, because it's not always sexual touch.
Right.
And there is a difference.
And pornography can't give you a physical touch. Can't do it.
Right. So then this kind of goes back to what you said before too, but question. And this is to a proponent, because I'm sure that there are some people who feel like, oh, it's fine. It's completely normal. And would even dare say it's biblical, because the Bible, I know you're looking like, what? Because
Okay.
the Bible says the marriage bed is not defiled. So if we agree, if you and your spouse agree that, okay, yeah, we watch porn, we watch porn together to kind of set a mood, set a tone, which that's unfortunate. But what comes next? Because that will get old.
I would say disaster comes next because, no, really.
No. Yeah, I agree.
Because if both are agreeing at this time, that's you have to think about the morality of it. And at some point, one of the spouses is going to realize, we can't do this. I shouldn't be doing this.
Because
biblically, it's God doesn't want us doing
okay,
this.
okay.
This is it talks about you having your wife. Every man enjoy his wife,
right.
not multiple people. But what will happen is if the spouse decides, okay, I've done this, I've realized, that it's not right. I realize that I don't want to do this. Well, what you're going to do is say, wait, I still want to do this. And because of your human nature, the first opportunity you get to do that with someone else, you're going to jump to it. Especially, again, like we talked about commitment to the Lord. If you're not committed to the Lord like you should be, you're an easy target. Easy target, and you'll fall for anything. So, yeah.
So then what if you were talking to a couple and they said, okay, well, this is something that we've done, but we realize that it's not so good because, if you gain some pounds, then you start to not look like what you see on the screen. And anybody who's ever seen any piece of pornography knows that's not even how sex goes. But anyway.
Not love making anyway.
Right. But what do you say to them? Like, okay, we agree. We shouldn't be doing that because we're not finding pleasure in one another. We're having to be aroused or get excited by this external thing. What would you say to them?
I would say get some counseling, because there's no reason why you shouldn't be aroused by your spouse. It's one of those things where it should be natural. And we talked about before, marrying for a reason. And if that is a reason you got married, then that's going to pose some issues. Okay. So you got to find a way. You're going to have to see a counselor to talk with them about, what you need to do within yourself. And, your spouse needs to do the same. and what you need to do with one another to bring that spark, that attraction back into your lives. So yeah, you definitely need some counseling for that one.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, those were the things in discussion. Those were the things that came up. And I will say that from the male perspective, he felt like his wife wanted to introduce porn into their sex life because he couldn't satisfy her, which is very typical of a man, that it's because something, it's something about me.
Right.
I'm not satisfying her. I'm not performing well.
Right.
And then with the women, it was that that the attraction was to the women on the screen, not to me.
That's yeah.
But I can't go have sex with them, but I can have
Well, I
sex
can
with
have
you.
sex with you.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
Huh. Interesting.
so if you find yourself in this situation and you're wondering, should we introduce pornography into our marriage?
The answer is no.
Short answer, no. Long answer, no.
Don't do it.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Run.
Find out what it is that you're actually missing in your marriage. If it's excitement, then find other ways to introduce excitement. If it's passion, then find other ways to introduce passion into your marriage. If it is a lack of attraction, then find out what it is that you're really not attracted to. Because a person can become unattractive because of their behavior.
I would say behavior, their attitude.
Their facial expression, the way they talk to you. Mm-hmm. A person can become unattractive for those reasons. And for those same reasons, a person can become very attractive.
I'll give a simple example. I've always been one of those guys, be like, man, that's a fine chick right there. And then she puts a cigarette to her mouth, and then she looks like a witch, I mean, that's just,
a witch?
Yeah, it's just one of those things. It could be something simple. So explore and find out what it is. Don't just say, hey, let's try this and let's try that.
Right.
Because you'll continue to have to try things.
Something, yeah.
All the time. And that's not what you want in your marriage. All right.
So get to the heart of the matter.
And one last thing.
What?
Husbands, tell your wives what you like for them to do. That will help you feel more attracted to them. And the same with the women.
Okay, I was ready to say.
No, it's both.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to tell them what you like, what you don't like, what you want, from them, because it's your husband, it's your wife. You shouldn't be ashamed. You shouldn't be embarrassed.
Well, some of the stuff you might. No, I'm kidding.
No, you shouldn't be embarrassed with your spouse. Okay? Your spouse will listen to you, and they'll try anything to make you happy. Your spouse will do that for you, I'm sure.
Anything?
Other than watch pornography. I mean, coming from give something of themselves to make you feel attractive or attracted to them. Mm-hmm. So just talk. It's a simple thing. Tell them what you want.
Yeah.
Tell them what you like. It's not hard, and we make life so difficult because we're always trying to keep things a secret. Well, I don't like to do this because, but I'm not going to tell her. I'm not going to tell him. Talk about those things.
Right.
Get those things out of the way. All right?
All right. Food for thought.
That went a little longer than I planned, but we thank everybody for listening.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for tuning in and listening. As always, give us your comments and your feedback.
And subscribe.
And what?
And we hope that, there was something in this to cause your wheels to turn about your marriage, about your sex life, because it should be good.
Yeah,
All
should
right?
be good.
Should be good.
So, one last item. Visit us at www.forharmony.com. We welcome any comments, and if you'd like to do have a free consultation to see if this coaching couple might be able to help you in your marriage, then please let us know.
Again, it's not counseling. It's coaching.
No, it's not counseling. It's coaching.
And you may have a good marriage, but there might be a couple things that you feel like, oh, that could be a little better. Contact us.
Please.
All right.
All right. If there be no more,
I'm done.
we are out of here.
So we will see you next Thursday night, 7:30, here on The Hunt for Harmony. Have a great week.
Bye-bye.
See ya.